So good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to today's webinar on Callie Waterhouse with the Arizona Association of Realtors. And we are thrilled to welcome you to our final 2016 webinar of the year with our three-peat presenter, Beth Adams. Today she's going to be speaking on effective marketing strategies, refresh, reinvent, and reinforce. And if you've joined Beth in the past, you know that she gives us hands-on, workable, actionable tips. In the handouts that we've uploaded into the system are a couple of pages there you can take notes. She's included her contact information on a marketing page as well. And of course, for everyone who has a plan, who does not have a plan, or who would like to create a marketing plan, please take copious notes today. If you have questions, feel free to reach out to Beth or myself. And just as a reminder, Beth is a working hands-on realtor here in Arizona. She is currently the branch manager for Realty One Group in Sedona and a marketing guru. And like many of us in life, you know, you just keep going on and something just clicks. Well, Beth's been in real estate for 20 years. She's done an awesome job, but then she got the marketing bug. And so now she's become our go-to person for pretty much all things marketing. So Beth, with all of that being said, welcome to today's webinar.
Thank you, Callie. I'm so excited to be here. I'm so honored to be giving the last webinar of the season, and I'm excited to share some awesome information with you. Just to correct, though, I've only been in real estate. This is my 14th year.
14th year. So is you and James together over 20 years?
Yes, yeah. Yep, if you add us up together, it's over 20.
That's amazing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to you. And I'm going to make you a presenter. So if you will accept, we can go ahead and get started.
Okay, here we go. I'm going to start our presentation, and you know, thank you for calling me a marketing guru, Callie. I appreciate that. But this has sort of been a trial by fire. So everything that I'm going to share with you today has been how I have learned how it works for me. So hopefully I'll give you some tips, and you can sort of tweak them to make them fit into your ideas and your toolbox. So I'm wanting to just share a lot of information and knowledge with you today. And hopefully we will give you some great ideas about how you can move forward for 2017 with your marketing strategies. So marketing branding can be one of our most ignored aspects of our real estate business. You know, so many times we're too busy working in our business to work on our business. But marketing and branding ourselves within our communities and our sphere is a huge key piece to getting new business through the door. So I want to be able to share with you some things that you can take with you and utilize to maybe give you some additional tools and tricks for 2017. It can kind of feel overwhelming to tackle your marketing, whether you're updating it or starting new. So a lot of times the question is, how do I take that step? And so I think in order for you to be successful, you have to be really intentional with your marketing. We can't run around with our hair on fire all the time and expect our business to grow. And sometimes it feels like that's what we're doing all the time. We're just constantly putting out fires when our transactions blow up or whatnot. So it's hard to carve out time, but hopefully today you'll be able to take a different perspective on it, get a really solid marketing plan for yourself, and be able to move forward with just creating a dynamic branding and marketing piece for yourself that will help you get more business in the door. So the question is, how do we do that? And I think that it's really important to be intentional, to have intention and purpose when we look at our marketing. And that means making it a part of your business, same as prospecting, same as cultivating your clients. There's some things that we should do every day, and this is one of them. So maybe you already have a marketing plan, or maybe you're looking at creating one. And so this, I'm hoping, will be able to give you some things that you'll be able to move forward with, maybe refreshing your current plan or just creating a brand new plan altogether. So how do we do that? How do we add that intention and purpose? And one of the best ways to do it is to create a plan. And the first question you should ask yourself is, why? Why do we do what we do? Why do you get out of bed every morning and go sell real estate? If you can answer that question for yourself, that's going to bring a lot of authenticity to your voice as you move forward with your marketing plan and what you're going to say to people, how you're going to brand yourself. I have a good friend of mine who told me a long time ago, she said, do you tell people you sell real estate, or do you share with them something that's going to touch their heartstrings and pull on their heartstrings? So she calls herself a home matchmaker instead of saying, I just sell real estate. And I think that's a really large part of her branding, and I absolutely love it. Another one of our good friends calls themselves an expert negotiator, and that always brings up a lot of questions for his audience when he's interacting with them. So kind of defining what you do and asking yourself to define who you are within your real estate career is a great way to start that journey. Also asking your past clients, how do they define you? When James and I looked at our marketing a couple of years ago and decided to move forward with completely changing our branding and our marketing, one of the things we did was we went back to our past clients and we asked them, well, you know, why did you work with us? What did you find valuable with us? And, you know, we asked them those questions, and it was really funny because the resounding theme from the people that we asked was, well, it was because it was the two of you. We had both of you. We really enjoyed having more than one person to speak with. We enjoyed how you worked together as a team. And so as we move forward with our marketing, it was really clear which direction we should go, and that was to market ourselves as Beth and James. And so if you pull us up, including our Facebook page is the shared page, which drives some people crazy, but it's Beth and James Adams, and it's been like that consistently for the past couple of years, and it seems to be a really great way for us to brand us. So asking those questions is a great place to start. So that's the big piece of defining who you are. And we'll talk about who and where in just a few minutes and how as well. But the other thing is to make sure you're refining what you're doing, making sure you're in compliance with the Arizona Department of Real Estate and their advertising rules, making sure you're consistent, and making it a part of your business. And then finally, we'll talk about automating and being tracking what you're doing. So we've talked about the why. Then you've got to decide who are you going to market to, and you can market to all sections of your audience or of your type market. But you know, are you going to market to your friends and family? Are you going to market to your clients? Are you going to market to future customers? So defining who you're going to market to is really important. I heard a really interesting tip, and I thought it was great, and I want to share it with you guys, is to think about your last 3 clients that you really enjoyed working with and figuring out where did they come from. And so, you know, maybe going out and reaching out to them and saying, hey, by the way, where did you find me? Was it a referral? Did they find you off of your Facebook page? Did they find you off of your website? And asking that question will help you define who and where they came from. So it'll kind of help you target who you're going to reach and how you're going to reach them. We find a lot of our clients are coming in off of our Facebook page. We have a large referral base, but we also want to reach those future customers, and so finding out where they are is another great way to figure out how you're going to reach them, how you're going to attract them, and how you're going to send your message to them. So once we figure out who you want to market to specifically, the next step is where. Where are you going to market? And we're going to talk a lot about the digital marketplace, because I think a lot of us realize that that plays a large part in our marketing today, and it's very relevant. Obviously, looking at these numbers from Pew Research, we know that Facebook is the big player in the social realm. But there's a couple of others to note. Instagram has gained a lot of popularity recently. And I know a lot of agents who are successfully marketing themselves on Instagram and through Instagram. Same with Pinterest. There's a couple of agents that are doing phenomenal things with Pinterest. So it really just depends on where you want to be and where your audience is, and also where you're comfortable being. That being said, on the digital marketplace, there's folks who we can't reach on the digital marketplace. I have an agent here in the area that is doing a phenomenal business by doing a mailed newsletter to a specific subdivision, and he's doing a great job. He has completely taken over the subdivision, and it's a retiree community, so he knows that he can't reach a lot of those in the digital space, so he has stepped up his game by sending out a papered newsletter to this entire subdivision, and he's done a fantastic job of it. And so it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to play in the digital space if your audience isn't there. If your audience is not, majority of them isn't going to be in that, figure out how to reach them in the non-digital space. So emailing, newsletters, postcards, there's a ton of different ways. We talk about farming, and there's online farming and old school farming. So there's a lot of different ways we can reach our target market. And once we've decided who and where we're going to market, the next thing is content. So what content are we going to share out, and how are we going to do that? So on your screen, what you're going to see right now is my personal content calendar. I've created a bunch of different topics, kind of laid out my week, and decided how or where I'm going to post those to. And this really helps me know what I'm going to say, and it makes it really easy for me to share out what I want to share out in a really short amount of time. So I don't have to spend a lot of time on it. So having a content calendar is really helpful for making the process go faster. And making it so that if I am not sure what to say, I can just go right back to my content calendar and get some ideas. I also have a content file, so if I come across something that I think is interesting, I will stick it in my content file, and that way I have it to reference later as I'm creating my content. One of the things to keep in mind when you're talking about content is to not be tone deaf. So always make sure you understand what's going on within the digital realm or within the calendar. If it's a Veterans Day or something like that, to make sure you're recognizing and being timely. I really liked this post from an agent out of San Diego. I thought it was really nice and respectful. I liked how it also had her contact information down at the bottom. So she was kind of doing a little shout out to the veterans, and I thought that was really respectful. So we need to make sure that we are continuing to keep an ear to the ground and understanding what's going on and on a timely manner. Now that we've talked about content, the next question is, how do we deliver that? How do we make it work so that we're not spending hours and hours a week? Because we don't have that time to spend on crafting content and on being a marketer full-time, because that's not what we are. We're real estate agents. We are more interested in selling, but we have to brand ourselves and market ourselves to get our name out. So how do we do that? And I do that through automation. If you are not automating your posts, you definitely need to look into that. It's a huge time saver, and it's a great way to share your content across different platforms and to make it so that it is very easy, and you put stuff out there on a regular basis. You're continuing to be consistent, and this will help. I spend about 1 hour a week to craft 5 pieces of content. I do it every Monday, sometime throughout the day. It's on my calendar. I know when Monday hits, it's my day to create my content for the week and to push out my posts for the week and to schedule everything out. And that gives me an opportunity to sit down, think about what I want to say, craft my posts, follow my content calendar, and to put out my pieces. And then I'm only taking an hour. Out of my very busy week, I'm only taking an hour. And this way it helps me to stay in front of our audience and stay in front of our, keep in front of our branding and making sure we're staying on top of our marketing. So the other thing that I do too that I didn't put on the slide is I go in, I'm not a huge Facebook junkie. I try to only go on there once a day, but I utilize my lists to really stay in touch with people on Facebook. So I make sure that I'm liking, sharing, and commenting about once a day with my different lists. So I'll have I have a client list in there, I have a friends list, I have a fellow realtor list. So I'm making sure that I'm going in there and actually interacting and engaging with people in that realm. So I'm not just pushing stuff out, I'm also reciprocating by responding, liking, sharing, commenting. So it's really important to make sure that we are continuing to interact and it's a two-way street. So now that we have sort of crafted our plan, we've decided why we're going to market ourselves, who we're going to market ourselves to, what we're going to say, and figured out our content and how we're going to push it out there, automating it. The next step is to talk about sharing the right message with the right audience. So how do we reach our audience and how do we make sure that we are communicating what they want to hear and not just pushing out what we want to share? You know, when we just talk about us all the time, what ends up happening is our audience tunes out and our engagement plummets, and we don't want that to happen. We want to make sure that we're providing relevant, timely information to our audience. So one of the best ways to do that is to cross-post, but to not post the same things across the board. And Creekside Coffee is this great little place in Sedona, and they've really done a fantastic job of marketing themselves in the digital realm, and they market in 3 different places. They do Twitter, they do Instagram, and they do Facebook. But they push different things out on all those 3 platforms. So over here you'll see for Instagram they're putting out really beautiful photos of coffee, and Instagram seems to be a really artsy place, and so that is what they're doing on Instagram. They're just pushing out these really beautiful artsy photos of coffee. On Facebook they're putting out a lot of their promotional items, so they talk about the soup of the day, they talk about the drink of the day, and so it's a little different than what they're putting on Instagram. And then on Twitter they put a tweet out every day, and they just are using the word coffee, using hashtags for coffee, and reminding people that they're there and that they're selling coffee. And I think they're doing a phenomenal job of cultivating a really great following and also of cross-posting their message in different ways on different platforms. So that's one of the great ways to reach our audience, is to making sure that we're connecting with them on those different platforms in different ways. Something to keep in mind when we're crafting content is the 80-20 rule. And I've talked about this in the past, and I'll share it out again, and that's to only talk about you and your listings and your properties and what you do only about 20% of the time. So if you're making 5 posts a week, only 1 post per week should be about you or your listing or whatever it happens to be. The rest of the time it should be about them, about your audience, about your people that you want to reach. So it should be interesting content to them. And I got the you versus I thing from Joe Weldon, who happens to be sort of a speaker guru in the speaker realm, but he has some really great interesting things to say about speaking and how do you reach your intended audience. And one of the things that he said that really resonated to me was you versus I. So when you're talking to your audience, whether it be through a post or through a blog, you should be using the word you and not I. And so when you're crafting a post, take a second to make sure that you're wordsmithing it so that it's targeted to you and not coming from I. And that's really effective when you're putting it in their hands, using you to reach them. There's been a lot of studies on that, and that really seems to be much more effective in getting people engaged. So definitely wordsmith it so you're using you, not I. The next thing is to make sure that your message is visual if you're in the digital realm. Even if you're doing newsletters, they should be in color with lots of pictures to grab our attention, because we're all really visual now. We all really base things off of what we see and not what we read. So make sure your message comes with a visual pow. Making sure that it's relevant, that it's timely, it's relevant to what your audience is looking for. And then giving your audience value. So your message should contain something that they want to hear, that they're looking for. And I really liked, I love Nobu Hara from NAR. He does a phenomenal job of sharing with us how we can do things better in the marketing and digital realm. And he said something that really resonated with me a couple of years ago, and that was we should be providing our audience things that they cannot Google. And so I really liked that. That really stuck with me. And so when I craft content, whether it's just a short post or it's a blog piece, I want to make sure that I'm sharing something out that is going to provide value, and it's going to be something maybe that they can't Google or they are not aware of or can't find on the internet. So a big piece of that is providing local content or hyper-local content, things that only we know about because we live in our community and we work here, and we know things that maybe people from the outside looking in don't know. And then making sure your message is clear, providing a really clear message, whatever it happens to be. And I'll talk more about the clear part in a little bit, but just providing that clear message is really a key piece. So making sure that it's very direct and they can understand what you're trying to share. And then if you're not sure if something's going to work, oh, you know what, I'm going to give you a couple of examples first of content that really caught my eye and really I thought was great and created a lot of engagement. So this is one that, of course it's puppies. Everybody loves puppies. But Jason Morris from the Myrtle Beach Travel Guide put out this post, and of course it's just adorable, so cute. Everybody loves puppies, but look at the likes that he got, and then the shares that he got. It's incredible, and then 118 comments. That's phenomenal. So sometimes it's the cute piece, the cute factor that'll get engagement. Sometimes it's, again, that local content, that hyper-local content. This is something that I pushed out on our page. We had our brand new library was opening in Camp Verde, and I wanted to let our local people know. And so I got a lot of nice reach off of this and a lot of comments and engagement off of it. So sometimes that local piece can help provide value to our audience. And then sometimes it's just timely. I follow the Hughes Group from Idaho Real Estate. I think they do a phenomenal job with their marketing and their social content. And this is one of the things that caught my eye. They just said, hey, it's snowing, it's beautiful. And they got 92 likes off of this post. I just thought it was really neat. And of course, it had nothing to do with what they do. It had nothing to do with selling anything. It was just, look at how beautiful our area is. And sometimes that'll really grab your audience, particularly the people who are not from this area. So, and then if you're just not sure what your message should be, if you're really unsure, if you're looking at doing maybe an ad and you're not sure how to reach your audience, sometimes the best thing to do is to do an A/B test, to segment your message, to do 2 different messages, push them both out, and see if which one works the best. And I've done this quite a few times, especially when I'm trying to maybe drive somebody to a grabbing page, so a lead page where I want them to go and click something, or I want to have them sign up or put in their email address for something. Sometimes I'm not sure what is the best way to grab people, and so I'll craft 2 different messages and then send them both out and see which one was more successful. And if one is more successful than the other, then I file that away and I'll save it and use it again next time around. So segmenting your message and doing A/B testing can be a really great way to figure out what's the best way to reach a specific audience type. When you're doing segmenting, make sure you have a really clear goal. Like, I want to drive people to a landing page where they have to put in their email address to download a free home buyer's guide. And what should my message say? Maybe it should be one information about home buying, or if I'm not sure, maybe it should be free home buyer's guide. And I'll do 2 different messages, and then I'll target, specifically target maybe renters in the area. And then I'll put a short time frame on it, so I can, maybe a couple of days, just so I can see. And then I won't spend a huge amount of money. I'll spend maybe $10 per piece that I'm pushing out, just so I can figure out which is going to be most successful. So segmenting is a great way to figure out how to reach your audience. So now that you've maybe refined your message or figured out how to craft your message with value and give it some intent, the next thing to figure out is it working? So sometimes we get so busy pushing things out, we forget to figure out if it's actually doing something for us. And one of the things that I don't like to do is to put my time and energy into something if it's not working. But so many times we tend to grab onto a marketing thing, and we just do it, and then we just roll with it, and we never check in to see if it's actually working. And sometimes we're either spending a lot of time and energy on it, or we're spending a lot of dollars on it. And if it's not working, all we're doing is throwing time or money at something that's not being effective for us. So a really great thing to do is to track it, make sure you're getting return on your investment. And there's a lot of different ways to track it, but my favorite thing is to use insights. And we get insights off of Facebook, we get insights off of Instagram, and there's also insights through Twitter. And so it'll tell you what's working and what's not. And I really like to check in on my insights once a week. I usually do that first before I craft my content for the following week, so I can make sure that I'm putting out those valuable pieces of information, that I'm getting engagement from my audience, that I'm not just pushing stuff out that's falling on deaf ears. I'm making sure that I'm getting likes and shares and comments, and that I'm reaching my target audience. And if something's not working, I'm going to reevaluate, and I'm going to figure out, okay, what worked last and what worked best, and how do I do that this week? So really checking in and making sure that what you are pushing out is actually being effective and reaching people, that you're getting engagements, that your involvement, whether it be on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter, those are always consistently going up, and that your likes are going up, that your message is getting engagement. So that's really important to check in. I really like to do that. I even do it on my website once a month. I check my website stats and see how many people I'm getting to my website. Am I getting good traffic? Are my blogs getting traffic? Are they getting comments? What is my most involved blog? Who's going to those blogs, and what are they liking about the blogs that I'm sending out? What's not getting any engagement? If I'm getting blogs that aren't getting any engagement, maybe I won't put a piece out like that again. So just really checking in and making sure your numbers are working for you. That's really important, so that you're not wasting your time or money. The next thing I want to talk about is video. And video is still really hot. Video is still really a great way to reach people. In fact, I heard somebody say the other day that if video is available on something, so whether it's an email or it's on Facebook or it's on your website, people are 3 times more likely to open it and watch it than they are if there's no video involved. So obviously video is still really a great way to reach our clients, our audience, and a great way to market ourselves. So a lot of people are doing video now. The home buyers that from NAR, the home buyers report that comes out every year said that 75% of home buyers and sellers love to see video, but only about 8% of agents are actively doing that. And I think we're going to see that number go up, but video is huge. It is very key for marketing these days, I think. So a couple of unique ways to use video is, one, to go live. And I've seen some agents just do this really successfully. When you go live, I'm going to preface this with be safe, always be safe. If you're advertising that you're at a property and you're sharing out the address, make sure that you have someone else with you. Safety is always primary. But I've seen a lot of agents do some really cool things where they do a live open house. So they walk through the house and give a preview of the house. I've seen agents do really cool things with a coming soon live video, so advertising a property that's coming soon. Maybe it's going to hit the market next week, but they do a sneak peek. And I've seen a lot of agents that are successfully doing community events live. Maybe they're at a really cool community event or a concert, or maybe they're at a art walk or whatever it happens to be, but sharing that event out live, it's a great way to give your content of that hyper-local feel. So there's been agents that are doing really cool things by going live and doing it really successfully. Another unique way to use video is to tell a story. And I reference the Boutique Realty Group a lot, but that's because I think they're doing a phenomenal job with their storytelling videos of their property. So if you get a chance to look up Boutique Realty Group, they are a real estate company out of California. They're a luxury real estate group. They list high-dollar properties. They have an on-staff videographer and script writer, and so they really do top-notch things with storytelling, but their videos are just phenomenal. They have a couple that are just really great for highlighting the lifestyle of the property, highlighting the uniqueness of a property by telling the story about the property. So check them out because they're doing a really phenomenal job, and telling that story about a home can sometimes really pull on buyers' heartstrings. So, and then one of the videos that I really liked just recently that I got to see is a countdown video, and that's just sort of like counting down the top features of a home. But Amy Youngren, she's from Canada. She works for the Urban Real Estate Group. She is doing a phenomenal job with countdown videos, and I want to just give you guys a quick sample of what she's doing with her videos, so bear with me. I hope you don't mind seeing a video of hers, but I think she's doing a really cool job, and I want you guys to see this countdown video.
Hi everybody, my name is Amy Youngren with Urban Lifestyle Group. We are pretty smitten with our awesome new listing right here at 42 Philpott Gardens in the Upper Beaches, and we wanted to share with you our top 8 reasons why you, or someone you know, is going to love this home too. Number 1, location, location, location. It's not just a catchphrase. It's the most important thing that you should be considering when you're buying a home. And this property is perfect
So I wanted to show you guys that because I think she does a couple of really great things. One is the countdown. I love it because we can't stop watching. We have to know what all the numbers are, right? And the other thing that she does is her description of the property is really well wordsmithed. She uses really great keywords, and her descriptions are really wonderful. So she's one of the people that I cyber stalk so that because I really want to emulate people who are doing things really well. And so I think she's doing a really phenomenal job. And it shows. Her stats are incredible. Her average market time, and of course the Canadian market is different than our market, but her average time on market is like 9 days. So she's really doing some phenomenal things with her video marketing, and I really, really like it. So I wanted to talk, the last thing I want to share with you guys is the one thing that we are consistently not doing as agents in our marketing. And this is sort of across the board. I think this is a downfall that we all share, and it's something really, really simple. So the number one thing that we miss as marketers of our own business is a call to action. So many times we create these really great pieces, these really wonderful marketing pieces. We get such engagement on it. It's phenomenal, but we don't ask for them to go do something. We don't ask for them to contact us or to call us or to drive people to our website or to send them to a landing page to capture their email. We just push out these great pieces and then there's no call to action. And so one of the number one things that we don't do is that. So be sure when you're pushing out your marketing pieces that there is that call to action, even if it's just a visit this website or click here to put in your email address for additional information, or for advertising a listing, making sure that we're putting our contact information on it and sharing that out. So I have a good friend down in Tucson who does a phenomenal job with his marketing. His name's Tony Ray Baker. I absolutely love Tony. He does a phenomenal job with his online marketing, and he's got a booming business down in Tucson. But this is one of the pieces that he puts out. It's just a new listing that he's marketing, but he makes sure that he's got his contact information, he's got his email, and then he's got his website. So people have the opportunity to contact him in different ways, and I love that he does this consistently. If you go to his Facebook page and look at all of his posts, you'll see that he is consistently, when he puts out his marketing pieces, there is this piece at the bottom that talks about his contact information is consistently there. So he's doing a great job of always providing that call to action. And so we should hopefully make sure that we're doing that as well. Another site that I just love that's doing a really great job of creating calls to action when people land on their website is the Julian Pilarski group. Now this is another Canadian company. Some of the companies that I really think are doing a phenomenal job end up being in Canada, but they have a scrolling photo as soon as you land on their website, and it just kind of scrolls through several different photos, but every photo has a call to action. So this top picture up here says, be a nosy neighbor, get an instant update when your neighbors are selling, and there's a little click where you click on it and you put in your information, your neighborhood that you live in. It's a great way to grab those people as soon as they come onto your site. Another photo that scrolls by as you're on their website says, get listings in your inbox every morning, choose your neighborhoods. It's just grabbing those people as soon as they land on your site, and it's different people. So maybe you're not selling it, but you want to know what's happening in your neighborhood. Maybe you're looking for a property and you get to pick where you want to look and have those listings sent to you. Another one that scrolled by that I couldn't fit on this slide was, are you wanting to know what your home is worth? Click here for an instant valuation. So really just grabbing those people, giving them a call to action so these people are doing a really great job of it, and I certainly want to start emulating them. So that is just about it for today, but I want to just land on my Apps and More page to kind of share out things that I'm using, things that are working for me, and just share with you information that are apps or tools that are working really well for me. So BombBomb, of course, is a video email app. Great way to stay in touch with clients and to reach people is by sending out a quick video message. Video is just such a great way to touch people and make it feel really personable. So I use BombBomb. Love BombBomb. S'more is a really neat email newsletter program, and I just kind of stumbled onto S'more a couple of months ago, and I really, really like the platform. It's super user-friendly and really like their templates. Brand24 is a social media analytics tool. It is really great because I can funnel all of my social media accounts into that and get stats on all of them all at once, which helps for me because that's one place I have to go instead of 3 or 4 places that I have to go. So Brand24 is a really cool social media analytics tool. Adobe Spark is a Adobe product that is a wonderful platform to craft social posts on. They have different applications, so you can create a Facebook post or a Instagram post. It's sort of a graphics design program, and it's really super user-friendly. I really love it. I'm a huge Canva fan, and I've talked about Canva in the past. I absolutely love, love, love Canva. Use it probably almost every day, and it's a great graphics design program that is free and provides some really cool ways to help market yourself. They have real estate flyer templates, they have social media post templates, they have video thumbnail templates. It's just a really, really great program. Trello, I just discovered this year, and Trello is really cool. It is a visual board and business planning platform that you get to do online. So if you are thinking about doing a marketing plan or a business plan for next year, Trello is a really neat way to do it. You can craft your plan and create a visual board with it, and then plug in dates and maybe set some goals for yourself, and it'll notify you of that time frame when you've set the goal. It's a really cool platform. And then down at the bottom here, I've just got a couple of things for video. The Rode microphone. Rode offers a couple of really great mics for iPhones. So if you're going to do your own video, having that external mic really helps with your audio. OleoClip is a great lens attachment for your iPhone, and there's a kit that you can get. It comes with couple of different lenses for your iPhone. They can really make your photos, if you're doing photos or video, really super dynamic. And then if you're going to be videoing yourself, having a little light attachment is fantastic. So using the Manfrotto, I like the Manfrotto. It's called, I think it's Lumimuse, and it's just an iPhone lighting attachment. Hooks right onto your iPhone, and it's really great for if you're going to be videoing yourself or other people. So those are my kind of little tools and apps that I find really useful, and I just wanted to share them with you and let you know what's working for me. So at this point, I think we're just about winding down on our time, and I'm going to open it up for questions.
Great. Well, thank you, Beth. We do have just a couple of questions.
Great.
And if you're having an issue with the handouts, I will be sending out an email and we'll include them as an attachment. Beth, I'm going to go ahead and take the screen back so we can get your contact information and stuff on the screen so everybody can get that.
Perfect.
Now, we do have a couple of brand new agents on the webinar today. So Beth, if you had to choose one place to start, you've got a brand new niche, a brand new market, what's one place that you would start or one tool for your marketing?
Ooh, that's a really good question. But I would say two things. One, figure out who you want to market to. So if you just want to market in general and just get some business coming in the door, I would play in a space where the majority of us play, and that's on Facebook. I would create a Facebook business page, and I would just start by asking everybody who likes my personal page to like my business page, and then just start pushing out information about home buying and home selling, and pushing out information about myself. And maybe I'd let everybody know, hey, I'm new at this, but I'm super excited. I'm so pumped up. I'm ready to go. Give me an opportunity to see what I can do for you. So that's what I would recommend.
That's definitely an acceptable practice to ask people to like pages. So if you have somebody who's just creating a brand new Facebook page, what's the best way to title that?
To title your Facebook page?
Yeah.
Well, one, we want to always be in compliance with the Arizona Department of Real Estate, and that's so make sure that your broker's logo is on there in your cover page image or on your profile image, and then you would, I think, want to title it with your name and then something about real estate. So you know, maybe reference the area. My page is of course James and it's Beth and James Adams, and we I think it's Sedona Real Estate.
Mm-hmm.
So but always be in compliance by putting your broker's name either on your cover photo or on your profile photo.
Absolutely. And then, of course, we always recommend that you run everything by your broker to make sure
Yes.
you are in compliance. And then, Beth, what about like what exactly you are posting? Now, when you post real estate related stuff, are you doing it both business and personal, just personal? How do you choose what goes where?
That's a great question. And so I will post on my business page, and typically I don't share it out with my personal audience except for about once a week. And my personal audience is filled with friends and family and other realtors and local people that I work with, but I will share out something probably once a week with my personal audience, and usually it has nothing to do with us selling. It's not a marketing or branding piece, but it's usually a community-based piece. So good community information. Maybe once a month I'll share out a marketing or branding piece about what we do, just to remind our sphere of what we do. I think it's horrible when you run into a friend who goes, oh yeah, and I just bought a piece of property, and you're like, wait a minute, did you forget that that's what I do for a living? So I do like to remind our sphere about once a month about what we do, so we don't have any of those, oh, and I just bought something, but I didn't use you because I forgot what you do. So.
Sure. And then you didn't touch on it too much. What about CRMs? Which CRM do you use?
I really like Realogy. We use Realogy, and it is really user-friendly. It's a really user-friendly platform, which I like. CRMs are like a whole nother webinar.
Yes.
But we like Realogy because it is really user-friendly. So that's our platform on which we're using right now.
Excellent. And do you have any tips for door-to-door marketing?
You know, I be safe.
Always.
Be safe. You know, for us, for our area, that's not effective in our area. So I really can't speak to that very successfully because it's not something that we've ever done or do. We do, however, do a papered farming campaign that we send out every quarter to touch base with people in our neighborhood that are not in the digital realm. And that really gives us an opportunity and a way to touch base with our neighbors and things. But because I live in an area that's more rural, and our properties are really spread out, door-to-door is not something that we do. So I'm sorry that I can't be, give some additional advice on that. But
Absolutely. Okay, and then we're just going to wrap it up at this point. So Beth, tell our members, give them like 3 things they should do before the first of the year to kind of kickstart their marketing campaign.
Oh, that's really good. So 3 things you should do is create a content calendar and maybe a content folder so that you have pieces to pick from that are right there at your fingertips, so you can give that consistent message. Create some video. Make sure you do some video this next year. I think it's a really great way to connect with our sphere and with the new business. Your face in front of your clients and in front of your future clients gives people a really great way to get to know you before they actually know you. And then finally, just make sure that you make it a part of your business. It's just something that you should try and do on a daily basis, is to create those marketing pieces. I think that it's really important, especially as we roll forward with our audience, our clients, our consumers playing in the digital realm, that we have a voice there and that our voice is getting heard, that we are giving valuable content to our clients. So it's just really important that we are consistent and we do it as part of our business.
Excellent. And of course, the ultimate goal with any marketing campaign, any marketing we do at all, is to build those relationships.
Absolutely, yes. And we can only do so much on the digital realm, but making sure that you are involved, with engaging in other people's posts, liking, commenting, sharing, but then taking it offline, taking it out of the digital realm, and making sure that you still have those face-to-faces and that you are, still having that human connection. That, above all, is most important.
Absolutely. It's kind of like picking up the phone and calling somebody on their birthday.
Yes. That's right.
Well, thank you very much, Beth, for joining us today. We absolutely appreciate you being online with us. And as always, folks, reach out to Beth and, connect with her online. Her email address, Facebook website is on your screen, and so is my contact information. Feel free to address her or send her questions to her. Beth, thank you so much. And folks, just so you know, on January 3rd, we are starting an RPR webinar series. We're going to talk about an overview of RPR for brokers and managers and how to get the most out of it. And then on January 18th, the iconic realtor Russell Shaw will be joining us, and we're going to talk about how to achieve your goals. So, and you can go to aaronline.com/calendar to register for either of these or both of these webinars. Folks, thank you so much for joining us today. We appreciate you taking 1 hour out of your afternoon and joining us. We hope you got as much out of it as we did bringing it to you. Beth, everybody is saying thank you, thank you, thank you.
It was my pleasure, truly my pleasure. It was so great to be here today.
Okay, well, thank you. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.